Welcome back. We're joined today with magician Tyler Fergus, who just gave us an endless supply of chicken nuggets and made people run out of McDonald's.
Yes.
Tyler, when people think of magic and magicians, I mean, they often think of those big names like Penn and Teller, Houdini, David Copperfield. Some even think of Howard Thruston. Do you have a favorite magician when you were growing up?
Yeah, and I think I go with a lot, and I have to say David Copperfield.
Okay.
From the Statue of Liberty, the 747 jet, and basically I was lucky enough to be one of Make a Wish kind of things. So I was lucky enough that they flew me down to not Niagara Falls, to Las Vegas, and I got to meet him after the show.
Wow.
And it was kind of one of those moments. It was probably about 10 minutes spending a moment with your idol and asking as many questions as you can. And I think I was just in shock. I was 16. I couldn't gamble. I couldn't do anything. But um, it was just there. And then I got to see another magician named Lance Burton. Um, and at the time, I was still kind of learning who Penn and Teller were and who the other magicians were. But obviously, the main focus was David Copperfield. When I got to see his show live, front row seats, it was just one of those things that when I think any magician on the other side, when you're on the other side watching your idol or watching somebody, it's so much more because we miss it because we're always performing.
Right.
And when we see that, and he was really big with the TV specials back then too. So I think that's probably what caught my eye with the big illusions and making things disappear.
So when we talk about motivation and when we look up to people, what keeps you going in magic?
Uh, Family, of course. I have two daughters, my wife, and so those are the heart and soul of what makes me go out and do what I do to be able to come back and provide for them. But it's also the energy that I have from the audience. When I go to a birthday party, uh, it's those kids that keep me going. I always say I'm like a light switch. So basically, I can go on to very mellow, hey, how's it going? And then I flick the light switch on, and I'm a totally different person. But I also believe that I'm a character, but I'm not a character. So you're still getting me, but you're still getting that energy because the kids are loving it. And when you're silly, the kids at that age, obviously, let's say between 2 and 8, they love that silliness. And so I'm not a shy person, I'm a people person. But when they see the silliness, I think that's what really brings out the extra part in me to continue. And, and then you have those kids. But for me, the biggest is having those 5-year-old, 8-year-old hecklers. But I know how you did that, and I love that because I'm gonna be like, oh, okay, good, 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 and I come with the best comeback is so do I. So let's and you kind of brush it off, and so even when I'm in those moments, you have fun. You just bring out the energy, and as soon as I get back into the car, it's take a little breather, have a glass of water, you know, and go on to the next party. And I think that's where, because I'm busy, is keeping the flow. I go from super hype, bring it down, drive off to the next one, go right back up.
You get 8-year-old hecklers. I know how you
Oh
pulled
yeah,
that rabbit out.
yeah, 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 yeah,
Oh, it's
yeah.
too funny. I mean, you talk about performing at birthday parties and weddings and private events. I want to ask a question. I think I already know the answer to this, but have you ever performed at a funeral?
Close. I did do a celebration of life.
Okay.
I guess that's kind of the closest thing. And to bring a great question too was my wife is going to school to be a funeral director. So when she was going through the interview process, they were like, "Oh, as long as he doesn't make the bodies disappear," and I'm like, I've always thought that would be an awkward thing, and I know magicians have done it, but we're going to be there to enlighten a moment,
Of course.
not to take away from what's there, but if we can enlighten or bring joy to somebody and take their mind away for a few minutes, I think it's there. Ideally, maybe something that personally I would do, but The closest thing is I did a celebration of life probably about 4 years ago.
As I said, it was an odd question, and
Yeah,
certainly being as respectful as you can with it. No, I understand.
yeah, yeah.
So
No, I
where
just love. Sorry, yeah,
No, no, please. Yeah. I mean, it's
yeah,
bringing light to those situations and ensuring that, you're in a very serious moment. And it's one of those things of, we're not here to take away, we're here just to help.
yeah, absolutely.
That's awesome. So, where would you like to see your career go? I mean, besides jumping on the big stage, being sellout crowds Monday to Friday, is there anything specific that you're trying to accomplish?
Yeah, and I think I'm halfway. There. Every portion is a halfway. And again, I've got over 22 years of doing this, over thousands of performances, and you always kind of go like, "Where's the next limit? Where can I go?" And I can tell you recently is that if you want to be busy, is to be consistent. And so with the last 3 weeks, weekends, because I only work weekends mainly, unless
Right.
I'm doing something like a school or a restaurant gig during the week. But mainly for me, what I call the bread and butter are my birthday parties. So if I could do as many birthday parties I can to fit an entire weekend. So right now I'm averaging anywhere from 7 to 8 birthdays a weekend. Um, and then Monday, which was the dream, have a day off. So I've kind of had made that happen, and be able to just, you know, uh, yeah, I guess just be able to keep steady, keep busy. Um, my main core structure is the family entertainment. So I think the more I can do fairs and festivals and share my magic around uh, the world, that to me is continuing to do what I'm doing now. And, you know, it's that highlight moment when somebody comes up to you after the show and says they've never met you and they just
Mhm.
go, I can tell you love what you do.
That's
And I've
awesome.
had that happen a couple of times. And so for me, that's another thing that maybe motivates me to go back. But it's just being able to bring more magic, new magic, creative ideas to people. Because again, they might have seen that card trick before. They might have seen that coin trick. And so for me, I want to bring something new to them every time they see me. And that's my main structure to make people happy. That's kind of the whole thing right there.
Beautiful. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back.